Howdy, this is Ranger, the self-appointed water parks correspondent for In the Loop. Today, we're in the North Metro of Atlanta to check out Six Flags Whitewater. This is the largest water park in the Southeast. Most of the Six Flags branded water parks carry the Hurricane Harbor name. These parks are usually concrete jungles with few trees and tacky island decor. Whitewater breaks from this convention and embraces the natural forest environment of the area. The result is a more genuine environment with a lot of natural shade. A visit is reminiscent of a whitewater rafting adventure through the forest, thus the name. Interestingly, the park was originally built by Herschend, the parent company of Dollywood and Silver Dollar City. It ran as such from 1984 until Six Flags purchased it in 1999. There also used to be a dry park at this site called American Adventures, which ran from 1990 until 2010. The major buildings still exist from that park and are employee areas and offices for Six Flags. Note, Six Flags Over Georgia does not neighbor Whitewater, and the two are about 20 miles apart. Now we'll take a lap around the park, starting with Runaway River. This is a family-style raft slide with a nice setting in the trees. Your raft spins its way down the route and splashes on the side of the trough. At the top of the same tower is Dive Bomber, the tallest and fastest slide in the park. It's a 100-foot tall drop entry speed slide. You enter a capsule and the floor disappears beneath you and sends you down the epic steep pitch. There is only one instance of this slide, so the line can get lengthy on busy days. Next door are three kids' play areas. The first is Buccaneer Bay, which is a wide open area with splash features and some tiny slides. This would be a great place to watch little ones while others in your group attack the larger slides in the park. Whitewater does a good job of spreading these kids' areas out, so the little ones never have to be too far away from the rest of your group. New for 2023 is Caribbean Cove. This is a colorful, small playground area with some starter slides in the nearby trees. Skull Island is a large-scale water playground. It's got things to climb on, water buckets and guns, slides, theming, and a tipping bucket that actually works. The medium body slides on the backside look fun, but they are reserved for children. This is among the largest water playgrounds I've ever seen, and it was particularly busy. Around the corner is Tornado. These are common at water parks, but for good reason. The drop into this giant funnel generates good speed, and riders can feel weightlessness as the raft climbs up the walls. These yellow rafts can accommodate groups of 2 to 4 people. Atlanta Ocean is a massive big boy wave pool. The maximum depth is 8 feet, but the ropes were set at the 5-foot marker on my visit. The waves themselves were somewhat gentle for a pool of this size. Beach chair seating at the pool is very limited. There is a section set aside for Diamond Pass holders, but this requires an advanced reservation. Otherwise, you'll need to pay for access or arrive early to secure a seat. Looping around the entire wave pool area is the Little Hooch Lazy River. If you want a peaceful float through the woods on an endless river, this is your place. If you're looking for splash features or a transportation ride, this doesn't fit the bill. This waterfall is a nice touch though. Unfortunately, this was closed on my visit, and I actually heard reports that indicate that it hadn't been open this season at all yet. The Lazy River is among the most popular attractions at any water park, so this closure to me is completely unacceptable. Moving on to Tidal Wave, we have a pair of twisting body slides. They start at the top of a hill and empty into an area that is attached to the Lazy River. They're pretty zippy too, but they were closed on my visit likely because of the lazy river closure. I should note, I have been to Whitewater prior to this visit, so that's why I'm able to comment on rides that appear closed. Python Plunge is the newest full-size slide at the park. It's a two-person inner tube slide featuring 4 saucer turns. I love how the website claims it has custom designed rafts for this. Do these look custom designed to you? Anyway, the ride is pretty solid and definitely the most popular tube slide at the park. The saucer turns create nice visuals, but don't feel any different than normal bank turns. The body flumes are up next. These are super fast and can swing you high up the edges of the slide. They are smooth too and don't rough up your back either, so these are among my favorites at the park. They will drop you into this activity pool up front. This setup makes it easy to watch multiple kids because all the slides and attractions face the same direction in this area. The Mutiny Chute is a short slide with a drop into deep water. Strong swimmers only here. On the other side of the obstacle course is Lizard's Tail, which is a quick double drop into the pool. The second drop goes underneath the bridge and it looks cool, but unfortunately it was closed. If you've been on it, please leave a comment for the rest of us. Typhoon Twister starts at the top of the hill by the body flumes. You will ride with your group in a large raft, spinning and dropping your way down the route in the darkness. The highlight though is the ending, where you will spin around this gigantic bowl before dropping out the bottom. This is among the most unique attractions at the park and can get long lines, so I would make this a priority. We're now heading to the final attractions at the back of the park and we find Dragon's Tail. This is a triple drop speed slide. With a nice push off at the top, one can collect some good speed and catch some serious air on the last dive. This was another favorite of mine. The remainder of the slides in this section were closed, but I have ridden them all before. Black River Falls is a set of long winding body slides. These are completely enclosed, which prevent you from preparing for the upcoming drops, adding intensity to the experience. The blue slides, right next to these blue slides, are called Gulf Screamer. It's basically a tube slide version of Black River Falls, with a mix of enclosed and outside sections. These end with a super unique drop into the pool though. There's about a 1-foot vertical gap between the end of the slide and the exit pool. This creates a tiny pop of air that causes the raft to hit the water instead of just slide across it. In all my travels, I don't recall seeing anything quite like this before. In the back corner, this complex features some white colored tube slides. Caribbean Plunge has a set of quick drops. You may spin around and go backwards or sideways down some of them. Bermuda Triangle is another set of twisting tube slides. These feature both outside and enclosed areas. I don't see this attraction listed on the park map, so it may be out of commission for some time. On the other side of the midway is Bahama Bobslide, the park's second large raft ride. It's another winding and somewhat meandering trip through the trees. Everyone in the family will be able to enjoy it though, or at least those who are taller than 36 inches. At the bottom of this hill is the last attraction, Wahoo Racer. This is buried in the very back corner of the park, so it's easy to miss. Make sure you have a plan to get back here though, because it's a great slide. This is a newer version of the 6-lane mat racer slide that so many water parks have. There's 3 distinct stages to the race: a twist, a helix, and a dive. The top section has this fun ring pattern that you pass through. Make sure you get a good jump at the top, otherwise your friends will make fun of you for being slow at the finish line. I know my friends would do that anyway. Looking at the park as a whole, The quantity and quality of attractions is highly impressive. This should be one of those rare full-day water parks in the US. However, the list of ride closures was straight up unacceptable. It spanned the Lazy River, Lizard's Tail, Gulf Screamer, Black River Falls, Bermuda Triangle, Dive Bomber, Tidal Wave, and one of the Dragon's Tail slides. This was on a Saturday, 2 weeks after Memorial Day, so there's absolutely no valid excuse for this level of ride closures. Caribbean Cove was still under construction despite the fact that the park has an off-season of over 7 months. I hate to harp on this, but I have heard multiple reports indicating that my experience was not abnormal or just bad luck. I don't remember even one closure on my 2015 visit here. The average guest is not going to be happy paying full price for a park where half the rides are closed and the rest of the lines are twice as long as a result. It's a shame because the park has lots of charm. The forest experience is unique and authentic. The atmosphere of the park is actually pretty good, and there's lots of signage to tell you where all the slides are. Dive Bomber, Python Plunge, Typhoon Twister, Dragon's Tail, and Gulf Screamer make for a list of unique slides that is hard to beat. But I can't recommend buying tickets to this park until operations improve. If you live in Atlanta though, go ahead and grab a pass to visit here and Six Flags Over Georgia. The value for money looks much better than buying individual tickets to Whitewater. This park would be a borderline top 10 US water park if and when operations did improve. Thank you for watching this review of Six Flags Whitewater. I've got coverage of most of the nation's best water parks at this point up on the channel if you're interested. We also cover a lot of theme parks, cruise ships, and touristy kinds of things, so check us out and I'll see you in the next one. This is Ranger signing off from Six Flags Whitewater.